Hi there. This should be the last of our videos for China at War. On page 340 of the text, the U.S. continued to support Chiang to prevent the Soviets from seizing control of China. Although Stalin pledged support for the communists, he referred to Mao as the cave communist. Mao confessed to party confidence that the Soviet policy cannot be understood. Mao and Stalin didn't get along. Once Japan surrendered, Patrick Hurley, the eccentric American ambassador to China, thought he could mediate between the communists and the Kuomintang. In August 1945, Mao went to Chongqing and met with Chiang and had many private talks. The two leaders issued a joint declaration on October 10, 1945, promising peace, democracy, solidarity, and unity. And here's a picture of Patrick Hurley. George C. Marshall was sent to China to persuade Chiang and Mao to cease hostilities and form a coalition government. Chiang decided to begin all-out war against the communists from mid-1947 to mid-1949. Chiang's impatience to end the conflict with the communists with a quick military offensive was a costly mistake. Here's a picture of George Marshall, who was sent to negotiate between the two. Tactical mistakes in Huaihai battles of late 1948 lost the war for the Kuomintang. The nationalist units were left isolated in the cities, and defections were high. The Kuomintang fled to Canton, then to Chongqing, then to Chengdu, and finally, in December of 1949, to Taiwan. In the beginning, the Kuomintang troops outnumbered the communists 3-1. Mao and the communist leaders were able military strategists, but they benefited enormously from severe tactical and strategic mistakes by Chiang and his generals. Mismanagement, corruption, and record-high inflation chipped away any remaining popular support. Born out of a deep sense of crisis, collapse, and scorn, China from 1900 to 1950 had a profound and desperate longing for a new beginning. The communist revolution was closer to the brink of destruction than to victory most of the time. Although revolutions often failed to achieve goals, they initiated profound transformation of Chinese society. Up to 20 million deaths were caused by fighting between the Chinese and the Japanese. Famines and rural disasters were widespread from the 20s to the 40s. For almost 30 years of continuous war, total casualties of the Chinese population was as high as 40 million. In 1949, China was a scarred but battle-hardened country. Profound changes creating a clearer sense of national identity. There was consistent effort of the state mobilizing against foreign incursions. The CCP one-party state was built on carefully managed and cultivated grassroots mobilizations. The Republican period was a time of great intellectual liberty and artistic creativity, but centered on a republic nobody believed in. The divide between institutional apparatus and political movements impeded the establishment of a popularly supported legitimate constitutional system. And that ends the last part of China at War.